So once again, your boy the man NJ to the city with the number 2 in TL. Let's go. Let's go. So one of the top things I want everybody to understand when it comes to the updates of NJ to the City music and all the music that I made, let alone all the music that I'm about to futurely make in the future, goes towards this. I have a lot of stories to tell in my archive. Literally, one of the top things that I literally spent this entire summer doing, 2020 summer, is probably writing 100 songs, if not more than 100 songs, 2 tablets full, if not 3. And I can assure you, like I told myself back in June, if not July, if I can just get these flows right on these beats, I promise you I can literally drop the next, if not 3 albums, probably the next 10 albums in my archives. And I promise you that's one of the top things that's going forward in my NJ to the City music archive. Is dropping a lot of music for the second half of this year. Now I want everybody to understand, you have a lot of music already here to enjoy if you've not heard any of my sounds or if you've heard only 1 or 2 albums. You have plenty of NJ to the City music sounds to hear fresh off of this channel still if you haven't, if you're not that familiar with my archive. But I want everybody to understand, I'm always making more music. And eventually some of this music will have features. Majority of it, when it comes to features, won't really be verses by other artists. More so will be choruses by other artists. But it all depends on, how we, pair these things together and so on. Because it all depends on if I'm choosing somebody that I know is, musically talented versus I'm just choosing somebody just to have a feature. If I'm choosing somebody just to have a feature, it probably would just be a bunch of choruses. If I'm choosing somebody that I know is as lyrically versed in this stuff as I am, if not more than me, then yeah, I'll probably ask them if they can do a feature here and there. But for the most part, on my mind, it's mostly just a bunch of choruses, and we'll see exactly where it goes. But I want everybody to understand exactly where this music operation is absolutely 110% going. I have a lot of different stories to tell to raise a lot of awareness and just tell you the second half of my story when it comes to my upbringing and indeed over the last 3-4 years of my life when it comes to, high school, post-high school, where I'm going futurely in college in the next year or two, let alone where I am still in my youth development when it comes to, once again, mentoring all these kids from every grade level and just getting involved with youth work as much as I got first can, because that is 110% my passion, and so on. So with that being said, I want everyone to understand, I'm definitely making a lot of music, not just for a lot of individual people and their families, and not only a lot of different schools and their sport teams, but also a lot of music for different brands and different businesses, especially where I'm from, once again in Jacksonville and Nocatee, reside out in Nocatee and more. I want everybody to totally understand that exactly where we're going when it comes to Duval County, St. Johns County, pretty much the entire state of Florida. And I can make music for anybody, let alone I make music already for everybody. And I look forward to seeing exactly how far I'm gonna go, let alone we're gonna go with growing and expanding this brand, this operation, and putting more verses and everything we can to make the most constructive and most powerful music that we possibly can. For a lot of different brands, a lot of different businesses, you let us all work together cohesively and light up the city at the end of the day. And that's exactly one of the top things that this is all going towards, let alone raising as much awareness as we can towards mental health, towards LGBTQ causes and rights, towards, black, businesses, rights issues, you name it, whatever background that you come from, whatever background, ethnicity, nationality, whatever, whatever, what's the word? What's the word? Whatever your, well, you get the point, because I know what I'm trying to say, it's the top of my head, but you get the point. Everything. Everybody's getting love. Everybody's getting respect. Everybody, dare I say, just wants to be loved. Everybody's gonna get godly representation within my brand. That is what the NJ to the City, brand really is built off of these days. Is everybody gets some type of godly representation in this brand. This brand is going cross country. This brand is going around the world. This brand will impact a lot of lives, and a lot of people will absolutely, feel God's love in whatever type of, way that we can reach out to them. And that's a big part of what I mean when I say I know this money market will blow up, it will succeed, it will grow, and we will all be one family through the body of Christ, especially in today's day and age of what's going on with the state of the world. But I want you to understand, when it comes to the stories of which I'm about to start telling for the second half of my story on music, because I've been writing a lot more positive music than anything else. It literally hit me within this year, ladies and gentlemen. Man, I write all this positive music. I write all this music for the kids. I write all this music for, all this competitive music, for sports and other stuff. I need to write more of my own story, my own life story. And that's one of the top things. I go through a lot. I have gone through a lot, and I still go through a lot today. And I thought to myself over this last year, man, I write so much positive music. I write so much competitive music. I write so much whatever I write, so many tributes to the kids. I really need to start putting out more of my own personal struggle, more of my own personal story for the masses to once again, listen to, hopefully gather hope, healing, and inspiration from, and definitely all the above. Know that you're never alone, no matter what you're going through, and there is a brighter day on the other side. But you just have to once again, find faith in God to once again get you there, and so on and so on. So I look forward to telling all these second half stories to you all, with you all, and seeing where we get with it. But I want everyone to understand these stories are not going to be told with any vindication, if that's the correct word. Dare I even say with any malice to them. These songs, about the given people or the chosen people within their chosen situations. These songs are not to intentionally smear anybody's name. These songs are not to intentionally cause ruckus. These songs are not intentionally to negatively trash people. These songs are to, it's like a mixture of how do we once again stay true to the art form with as well, peacefully with integrity telling my story. And that's exactly what a lot of this music is going to go towards with the second half of my act. That's what this is going to absolutely have to do with. Telling my stories with integrity. Nothing's going to be told to intentionally get 1 million views overnight or even in a month. Everything's going to be told with integrity and compassion. Everything's going to be told with giving you, again, staying true to the art form with, being a lyricist, versus, or to add on to as well, telling my story with integrity and character to not only bring out the most and best awareness, but absolutely to get people to understand, where we're going in the future, with, all the impact and influence that we can make and have, and so on and so on. So I want everybody to understand the brain is definitely going to blow. I always thought to myself over these last 2 to 3 years, the brand could have blown, or the brand could have blown literally way before now. But I promise you the top reason why it never did was because I cared more about family than I cared about fame and success, or fame and money more so. I cared more about my family than I cared about fame and money. What that means is, I mean it when I tell you, I absolutely did sacrifice, my family life, or I sacrificed fame and success for my family life, or whichever way that sentence goes. And what that means is I chose to pay more attention to better my family life than to go out there and just solely get money just so I can invest everything into my craft and blow up by now. Because what that means is, I could have been already a noticeable, if not a noticeable top 30 artist, I could have been well on my way to already having hundreds of thousands of views. That's a big part of what that is saying. I could have already been well known to already having close to 1 million views on everything, if not at least somewhere in the hundreds of thousands, nearing that borderline mark. That's a big part of my point. I could have already been on that mark. But I knew that fame and success was not going to buy me, or fame and money was alone. Fame and money alone was never going to buy me true happiness. What is fame and money without your family and friends? And that's one of the top biggest things I want everybody to understand. I knew that from the jump, which is why I never went off on that limb or those tangents to throw my family away just so I can pursue my own, personal goals, dreams, and you could say aspirations with, fame and money. Fame was always going to come to me. It was just always depending on when, where, and how. Same thing with the money, when, where, and how. But I never wanted to throw away my family, my friends, just to absorb myself in, dare I say, all these earthly, worth and materials. And you get the point, I never wanted to throw away my family and friends for fame and money. I never wanted to do that, and that's one of the top reasons why if you were to personally ask me, I definitely have held my career back thus far. One of the top reasons why I'm not already closely known as a top 30 artist, because every time I reminisce, I could have started this 3-4 years ago. I should have started 3-4 years ago, or at least I kept thinking about starting it 3-4 years ago. But I know one of the top reasons why I didn't was because I cared about my family life, and I wanted my family life to be solid before I went off on these tangents to build my own career up. And that's exactly what I believe, what I want, and what I know. And I want people to understand, I really can tell you, I'm a person of integrity, of character, discipline, and humility. I'm not going to sacrifice my morals and rights or integrity and honor, for money and clout. That's just not going to happen, and clout, obviously, depending on who you are, leading to fame. I was never going to sacrifice that. I knew that all the money in the world was not going to, again, all the money in the world don't buy family. All the money in the world don't buy loyalty. You got to understand that. All the fame in the world does not buy patience, privacy. All the fame in the world does not, buy you God himself or whatever else phrase you were to put there. And that's why I want people to understand, when you are on your climb to success and fame and fortune, understand that fame and money, where is that going to get you? In the end game, quote me, where is fame and money going to get you in the end game, of your life, without your family and your friends there backing you to enjoy it all with, to soak it all in, to build off of it with, to set your kids up for generations, let alone to again build your money mark and have your entire family not only having jobs along with you, but living a good life with you, all your friends bettering themselves and helping better their families, and so on and so on. Where is fame and money going to get you without the love, without the love, the respect, and etc. of your family and friends, without the involvement of your family and friends? Where is fame and money going to get you without the involvement of your family and friends, without the acceptance of your family and friends, without the respect of your family and friends, without the companionship of your family and friends, without the support, without the guidance of your family and friends? Where's fame and money going to get you? And that's one of the top reasons why I never went out there and just built my money mark 2-3 years ago, because I knew that I was destined for more fame and more money. Especially look up and down this YouTube channel, destined for it. So many great videos that are just bound to blow eventually once I do my full job pushing and promoting them. But I knew all along, let alone when you look at all these stories of the of these famous and rich people financially. You look at their stories of or I wouldn't not say of their downfall, but you see their stories of regretting some of their fame, if not regretting a lot of their money, choices and decisions. You get the point. I knew that just fame and money was never gonna make me happy. Fame and money itself is never just gonna make me happy. I knew that, and I want people to understand. That's one of the reasons why I never went out there and just built my money mark, which is just another name for my empire. I just never went out there on those limbs and just discarded my family and friends. I just never did that 2-3 years ago, because I knew that what is fame and money without family and friends to guide you, to support you, to be there for you and have your back? What is it? It's nothing. It's worthless. You're going to end up being a sad, lonely, miserable, depressed individual. God bless all people with depression. You get the point, who has no purpose, and who feels like every day they're living for nothing, and so on. And I've come too far at 22 years old to let my life end up being the same as everyone else's in those positions every single day. I know God ain't blessed me 22 years to let my life just fall down like that. No. God's not blessed me 22 years to let me just forsake everything I've learned from studying the media over the last decade when it comes to fame, fortune, depression, sadness, misery, lostness, mental health, you name it. God ain't blessed me 22 years to just forsake everything I've learned from this culture on how to not do things, just to go turn around and do exactly that. To do to do the on those lists of not to do's. God's blessed me too many years to do the exact opposite. And then have my life go down the exact same way everybody else's did. Pretty sure you understand what I'm trying to get there. And that's why I never just went out there on those limbs and built that money mark, because I knew, again, what is family and money without my family and my friends to back me, to support me, to encourage me, to let's build this empire together, frolic and flourish together, and so on and so on. But with that being said, the second half of the story will be written, directed, and produced all by me, with integrity, with love, with compassion, with awareness. Not to intentionally smear anybody's name, but to indeed bring awareness of everybody's pain. Exactly. Thank you. More coming soon. Your boy, man. NJ to the city. Out.